Randi Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
Hey, y'all, it feels like sometime around 2016, the right wing found out about transgenders existing and just lost their damn minds. It's like marriage equality happened. They felt like they were losing people where the gays were concerned. Then all of a sudden, they found out about these brand new super gays out there and where they were pooping at. And it's just been all gas, no brakes ever since. Papaw's assemble got something new to scream at. At least that's how it played out in their minds. And it's only got more convoluted since then. Now it involves, transgenders, drag shows, women's high school, sports somehow. Well, we know how much papaws have always cared about the integrity of women's sports, right? No, it's because, as always with this stuff, they got to frame it around the kids, got to protect the children, right? They call these people groomers. They say this stuff sexualizes children. Meanwhile, these are the same types of people that'll doll their baby girl up like John Bonet and then scream in her face for messing up the lack of virgin part of the talent portion of the pageant. Give me a break. They talk about groomers, but they're still down with Matt Gaetz and ain't said nary a word about all the church diddling that goes on out there. Seems to me like maybe something else is up here. Now, it's just one of their favorites of all the recent boogeymen they've concocted out of thin air to yell at. The reality is these people don't actually have very much to be upset or worried about, so they got to make up to keep their fear erections raging. You can't even keep up with them all anymore, man. You can't. It's like you got Antifa, QAnon pizza, vampires, critical race theory, cancel culture, kitty litter kids, Mr. Potato Head's I mean, like, goddamn, can't y'all just believe in Bigfoot like a regular dumbass? At least Bigfoot don't hate the Jews. Lord, it's exhausting. But it's not just exhausting, it's also dangerous. You can't spend all that time and energy dehumanizing and vilifying a group of people and then be surprised when they become the targets of harassment, assault, and worse. This horrible tragedy in Colorado Springs, we still don't know yet exactly what was going on with that guy. I guess now he claims to be non-binary, which they're using to dunk all over the left, like that's the end of the story. Me, personally, I'm not going to put too much stock in that on account of he's a mass-murdering lunatic. I tend to take what those people say with a grain of salt. They usually have a manifesto and claim to be the Messiah. Do we take that at face value? No, because that would be stupid. Whatever ends up being the case with that guy, we know for sure, objectively, that he was a heavily armed madman, something we have far too much of in this country, and a demographic which is continually revved up and radicalized by them and their hateful-ass dog-whistling rhetoric. That's what I know. Love y'all.
It's true, man. Unless and until we actually police ourselves on the demonization of groups of people that we don't understand or don't want to understand or don't want to see or don't want to know. And so therefore they become demons. They become the evil seed. They become the ones that are, Johnny Appleseeding our children. Unless and until we get real serious about this kind of leadership that demonizes entire swaths of people and then enforce the laws we already have on the books with regard to red flag laws, which 60% of this country will not enforce. Their sheriffs will not enforce the red flag laws that we managed to get passed after Uvalde. We managed to get some crap done and then go back to the good old days of the 90s. 1994, we had an assault weapons ban. We had one. It lasted 10 years. They let it sunset. Why? We would have a sunset clause in weapons of war being included in like your lunchbox and your cookies for school. I don't know why we let that sunset. I have no earthly idea why that was a good idea. But for the 10 years that we had the assault weapons ban, mass murder by assault weapons went down. Did it prevent all murder? No, nothing ever will. But the prevalence and the routineness and the traumatization and that it happens everywhere and anywhere all the time and that dead kids aren't enough to make people say, these weapons of war don't belong in 20-year-olds' hands. They don't belong in 30-year-olds' hands. They don't belong anywhere. They shouldn't be anywhere in America because America is not a battlefield. Hello? But that's not America. No, America, we prefer to be traumatized as long as we could tell ourselves that we are American and that mass murder is as American as apple pie or pumpkin pie or some pie. cherry pie. It isn't. It's diluted. It's dangerous. It's ugly. It's a bloodbath here. We treat our land like it's a battlefield. And it's not. But it can happen everywhere and anywhere. And to allow semi-automatic weapons to be purchased is a sickness. It's sick. It's twisted. It's wrong. Sometimes things are just right and wrong. Sometimes they're nuanced and there's gray, but not in this case. Weapons of war do not belong on the streets of a country not at war. It's just that simple. And allowing people to have them, purchase them, own them, stockpile them, carry them is just a sickness. And that is why America is a nation that is traumatized. It is a nation that looks over its shoulder even when they're sending their kids to school, even when they're going to church, even when they're going to the Super Target or the Walmart or the diner. Everybody is armed now to the teeth.